What's happening, people? Welcome to the podcast, episode 2. We got the man in the building, the most popularly demanded podcast guest. When I first said to everyone on my channel, who shall I get on, I expected people to say, all these like celebrities and shit. Everyone just said, get Tommy B in the building.
There we go, the return.
So first of all, big shout out to Tommy B for taking time after a day on his feet, changing lives.
Not a problem, lad.
For taking the time out to come and say right to the people. So I think first off, the $1 million question is, what the fuck has Tommy B been up to?
When was the last time we did a video? Amsterdam?
It was a long time ago, mate.
Yeah.
It was when we all went to Amsterdam.
Yeah. That was
right, and even then, that was like after we stopped doing videos together.
We were at but when we were in Amsterdam, that was at the point where
that was like a holiday.
The divide started to come into play in it, like the lifestyles had started to differentiating.
Yeah,
almost we couldn't. We just in a different path, weren't we?
Even that's what I'm saying. It was like way before that, because a lot of the time people say to me, how come Tom's not in your videos anymore? And I'm like, well, we don't live with each other anymore.
It's life's a twat, man. I mean? Like, you have to actually go about.
It's not a purposeful.
Yeah. If you're not living with someone, mate, it's actually quite hard to see anyone in it. As you get older and that, and you put the time in, depending on what your job is and that, you have to. Especially depends what life you want in it. If it's like the demands of life and if you want to live in a nice thing, you have to put a lot of graft in to buy the shit. You know what I mean? And I always knew what I wanted to do, and I opened my own barbers and that. I was never going to do anything online, so that means that obviously equates to me being at a place for a certain amount of time. But obviously I got a bird, didn't I? But
then I had to get one.
Back when we were messing around and that, like it was absolute. It was the pinnacle of our single youthful mindset with it. It's irresponsibly thinking every day in it. And after to that point where I had no concern as to what I was going to be doing in 3 years at that time. I was okay in the moment and just acting like that, but I knew at some point I had to get to a point where I was trying to build something in my field, which was cutting hair on it.
Yeah.
After travelling around and that, and damn, that was like the last gig. I probably was going to do one more thing, but yeah, I met Dina, didn't I, my girlfriend, and then moved back. I thought it was a good time to get back on that.
Yeah.
And live in. It was a set of problems in a way, because I needed to live somewhere, and it was premature. I came back, lived with my girlfriend, worked in another shop for a bit to get clients, and I didn't really know where I wanted to be, to be honest with you. After travelling that, it left me in a bit of a headspin.
Yeah.
But
I think for me, like it was feasible for me to live that life. Like when you say we were just young, fucking irresponsible. Yeah. Like literally, it was wake up in the morning. What can I do today?
It was a sick.
But the thing is, the difference is that in a way, because I was vlogging and stuff, that facilitates my getting to where I want to get. Whereas for you, it detracts from it.
Because even when we lived together, I was grafting heavy on her. I was working 2 jobs, gymming, going out a lot. Literally exhausted. It was good, but that was not. There's no way I could have maintained that now. But I think if we lived together now, at this age, and we'd have way more involvement in each other's shit. But it's near impossible, isn't it, when you're doing different jobs and that.
I think also, this is something people won't like, but I got to a point where like I think a lot of the shit we used to do as well, as in like partying and that.
It's boring, man.
Like I got like bored of just being like fucked, being in the middle of some place, feeling like mad. Where the fuck am I? And like I'd have these like moments, but there was even rumblings of it when we lived together.
Yeah, it used to be a little bit more. I was generally, because you had a lot more of a spread out lifestyle. You were always like take it or leave it a bit more than me, but I always wanted that weekend hit because I wasn't a job I didn't want to do at the time. So I needed it in a way you didn't more or less need it because you had a nice, better lifestyle back then. Like,
well, I think I always have like an aversion to anything that's too repetitive, and whereas like.
Yeah, you used to say that.
And
You used to say that a lot. Like, you can't. It's just the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're, you've been to one warehouse project, you've been to more. Like
that's the thing. I wouldn't go. That's the thing, and now that it sounds grim, but you feel too old, man.
I don't think.
I feel too old to go warehouse, man. I'd go for like more sophisticated, like a bit more financially demanding parties in different. Not without sounding like a cock, like just to a point where something new and something where you're with other people, just trying to blow your mind, trying to just get out of the realm of normal life and that, not just a little party at the weekend where you just like a hindrance to your productivity. You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's what it is. Like I think I got to the point where like I wasn't getting the same kind of like buzz out of partying, and I'd be like, do you remember the girls? And they had that house in, where was it in Liverpool? That's where students, Kensington, right? And we'd go out and then we'd be at this house like 2 days after the fucking party finished, like after we got in. And I'd look around and I'd be like, everyone here is staying like this forever, man. Yeah, these people are doing this is their life, whereas this is my party.
People used to be like, why are you leaving? And it's like,
yeah, like, because it's Wednesday, mate, we went out on Friday.
It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday and I've got like 8 days of graph in a week. But yeah, well, the answer is in the whole is that I set up a business is what I've been doing. I moved around, been crazy busy doing education and just trying to get my feet in England, really. But I ended up teaming up with a lad called Nathan that I met last year, and I opened a shop with him. Got a job as a teacher in a barbering kind of respect, and then do like private education, but I'm pretty engulfed in that. And I obviously still do some art, don't I? But
so are you still doing tattoos?
Yeah, like bits. I've like pulled it down to about 4 or 5 a month now, just to kind of trickle it away because it is a nice little thing to get going, but without sounding like a dick, there's only one Tommy B, you know what I mean? I can't divide myself up. Yeah. And I have to just prioritise what's commercially and more fluid in terms of money and what's going to feed me forever, like, innit? So I just keep it going at the moment because, on a day off it is nice to draw on that. And same with the paintings. I made a website with that and that dropped off. I approached interior designers when I wasn't cutting hair and I was painting. But it's all like bits and bobs, it's too cluttered, so I just decided on pushing that brand. But the brand can be anything.
When did you come back and start working in Manchester from
I've been back a year. I moved back in December, started working in January last year.
So December 2016, you came to Manchester, started working in the barber shop, and then when did you open your own shop? Yeah,
so I came back with a plan. I came back December, started work 4th of January somewhere else, just to kind of get me meeting people to cut, and the first target was to get enough clients and do something after summer. I was a little bit optimistic about it. Thought, it's maybe a bit of a push. Still a bit doubtful, to be honest, if we could still do it. I was just giving it a go, but we opened in May, lad.
Yeah. So you were back. So it was like pretty much 6 months between coming back to Manchester and opening your shop.
February, March, April, May. Just over 4 months. Yeah, I started working on the 5th of January, opened on the 5th of May, so it's 5 months.
And so alongside that, you're doing tattoo designs, which you've always done on the side. Yeah. Are you still painting?
Yeah. So when I first opened, because there was time in between clients and that, I was taking my sketchbook to work, man. I was doing anywhere between 20 and 30 designs a month still. Yeah. So it was paying well, and then once it started to warrant cutting hair more, and we were getting busier, I started doing that. So now I was doing like 6 days a week in the shop just to kind of capture as many clients as possible. But now we do 5, but we're still doing paintings. I made a website for that. Roll ink design is still going.
I'll link everything.
Painting site's gone down. I took it offline because it was getting a bit mucky. But I was pushing that as well to try and get income from that. It was all needing to work for every stream at the start, and then I was doing a lot of education in January and February, doing the workshops through my Instagram platform, barbering, and then just wrote a 10-week barber course, and that just made me, I just flew with that basically.
So you've been teaching?
Yeah, and
to snip wigs now?
Yeah. So at college and privately, 10-week course. Yes. and the odd workshop, but that pretty much paid for the shop in the end, which enabled me to do it earlier. Well, my part of the shop anyway.
Yeah.
But now it's just jammers, mate. It's packed.
So it's been a busy month or so. What I was going to say initially was about doing a lot of things out. You know, on the one hand, it's good to have probably different things, because I suppose if they're creative things, at least in a sense, they can carry over into each other. Yeah. Because I don't think there is, even if there's not a direct relation, doing creative things puts you in a creative mindset, right?
Touches your interest in it. But the thing, it's always been like with me, because I've always had, you know me years now, I've always had numerous amounts of things that I could be doing. I've always fucked with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
From like fucking around with cars, spraying, painting this, doing this, cleaning that, just pissing around with shit, mate. And that's how it is, mate. It's confusing. So like, I chose barbering because it was a clear, known kind of way to funnel creativity into one kind of commercial output that turned over money and worked as a business model that I could then strap things to. If I made a loose brand, not just.
Right.
And now I can bring art in, sell art, exhibit art, photography studio, everything potentially, because I've not called it barbershop, it's a brand. Cut hair, that's making, that's a medium. Painting's a medium, drawing's a medium. But it just allows space. Like, I want to get into interior design and shit at some point.
Yeah.
But I can still do that under not just consultancy if you wanted to. You can do anything. It's not definite to do that, but
yeah.
But finding your channel, mate, is my biggest energy sap, because I'm never okay with doing one thing, and if I don't, you know, I sit there and I'm flippant with it. You know what I mean? Like, if I cut hair too much, I want to draw. If I draw too much, I think, oh, fuck that. I don't want to cut hair.
So you just have a general umbrella of things that you would say they're related. They're all related, aren't they? They're all kind of artistic pursuits. Like, whereas
as well,
some people are more. It's funny how some people are more one thing. Let's really fucking specialize as much as we can in one area. Yeah. But I suppose it sort of depends on what kind of brain you've got.
It's always been to the point where I can sit there on my day off and think, oh, I'll do that, man. I'll get that to a point, or I should get that website going, I'll promo that. And I actually don't do anything like that, because I sit there in a jam of shit, what should I do, and I end up doing nothing instead. Because it's just like, there's too many options.
Yeah, I mean,
like, can I be asked to do anything? But if I'm overworked, then that I don't. That's why I bought Motorbike, mate.
Yeah.
Just do none of it, man. Just stress, unplug, mate. Just get gone, lad.
Yeah.
That's your high, isn't it?
Alright, so what's the plan going forward? Tell me about, you're moving into a new spot. Yeah. You're moving to barbershop. What's that going to be like?
Potentially, like, so we're going to stay where we are now, but the fact that we can't stay there forever is a bit of a problem. So hopefully we'll move this year. There's a few things we're looking at. If we move, that's somewhere we can kind of stay put and keep as like a longer thing, and then I can start introducing other things. Maybe open a different set of barbershops. You know, passive growth and that, passive income. But I reckon I'll be cutting hair in the city for another 6 years, and then hopefully we can use the space to do other things in creatively. But Manchester's relevant for everything we're doing. It takes our brand quite nice. You know what I mean? Anything you put out there is received quite well. It's not as closed-minded as some other places, like Liverpool.
Yeah.
You know, you still got that, like, that. Everyone just if you're doing anything slightly different, it's seen as cringy and seen as this and that. As a majority, from my opinion, like, it's still got quite a school ground kind of look to it, and the fashion isn't really as on a wider spectrum. It's not as diverse and shit.
Yeah.
As Manchester. Plus, because there's not many gay people living there either, which is terrible for cutting hair, mate. Really.
Right.
And doing anything in that respect, because the climate just isn't there. That's why Amsterdam is so rich in for that, man, because, you know, the yield off cutting a gay client is much better than cutting a bloke, because they go socialise with the men that are into the look and that, you know what I mean? So it's much better. But hopefully do that, open up another chain of shops, student shops, train, beauty salons, opening something with my sister hopefully in a year or so. And just chill, mate.
Because if you're doing all these things, right, what I'm thinking is, you're gonna have to find a way to satisfy your kind of creative impulse, because if you have all these, if you open a few more barber shops, you know, salons with your sister or whatever, you'll find yourself with all these things to run, won't you?
Yeah,
and it'll be a much more of a
as you introduce
managerial.
Yeah, of course, you be more of a side thing, but you talk. See, as now I've opened a bit of business, I'm drawn like to the business. I want to become a bit more of a businessman because I realise the value of my own time, and I want to release time to do shit I enjoy that doesn't have to be paid. I just sit there, mate, chilling, lad, painting, but I'm getting paid from some other kind of introduction of something else, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But eventually, mate, I want to cut the hours down on that about 2 in a couple of years. But you can do that easily by just introducing another chair, or just price yourself out, man. Price yourself up, work less. But there's loads of shit.
Similar to what I do. Because if you know, when I was first coaching people and stuff, I was sending, you know, people were getting cheap work out of me, man.
Yeah.
And then once the demand comes up, I don't want to do. I get to the point where I don't want to just dish out my coaching to a company who does it like as a shadow for you, because then you don't know what people are getting and shit. But at the same time, I do not want to spend my whole fucking life behind this laptop.
No.
And so it's the same notion of just increasing your prices so that you can keep your actual workload where you want it to be.
Yeah, just work smarter, innit, as you get older.
Yeah.
Well, you being just you, like, because we do different things, like, you've got way busier and way more on now, just like I have. But my days are actually, the thing that could worries me, I can't work anymore, man. I can't open anymore, so I have to start looking at pulling it down, mate, in a couple of years.
Yeah. I mean, with me, it's funny because I can have as much or little free time as I want, right? And it's funny because you want this, you set it up in the first place, and you're like, right, I'm gonna have like a nice life where I'm doing like a few hours at my laptop a day. That's it, and then I can go about, do what I want, have my own schedule. But when your mate's in a fucking barbershop 6 days a week, your bird's got 25 days holiday a year.
Everyone else has to be doing the same, man.
Everyone, exactly right.
Same, man. That's what I'm like. Yeah.
I go on holiday now with just fitness people. So now I've limited my friend group to just people who do the same shit I do.
That's how it is, though, man. That's because live, you have to conform to it's heavy. Like, you know, you've got on a good street, man. You've done what you can. You know, it's a good model, innit? I've chosen some of this slightly more demanding, but I've always liked manual work, mate. I couldn't sit on my own in isolation, mate. It just spin me head out. I just can't do it, mate. I always want to rub with people all the time, mate. I don't know, it's just how, otherwise it makes me grim, you know what I mean?
Well, I think in a way I'm the same. Like, it's kind of weird how I'm a bit of a one-man band, like, because I always felt like I'm way more passionate about working on stuff if I'm working on stuff with somebody else, man. If I'm planning something with somebody, you know, if we're both, because I'm more of everyone's good at different roles, right? I'm more of a kind of delegator and a kind of overseeing, like, because I cross the I's and dot the, you know what I mean? But if it's a laborious like task that's just going to be, you know, tedious and boring, that's not my forte, man, because I don't have the attention span for it. But now I've put myself in a position where I kind of do a lot of that, and there's no real team element to anything I do. It's kind of fucked up how shit works out. I'm not fucking complaining about it. Like, I wouldn't, enjoy what I do, but maybe I think
it's just like, you never know, do you?
Yeah.
I'd kill for more time, but I know if I have 2 days off now, mate, it's more problems, mate. Yeah, I end up trying to sit there, like, what can I do right now? This is the best thing I could be doing.
It's not a coincidence that you've always worked a lot. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's not just your circumstance. You consciously, maybe
that's come from when I was a chef.
Maybe subconsciously sometimes, but choose to put those hours in. When we were in Liverpool, you were doing, after I left the bank, and then you were still there, you were doing bank hours like 9-5, 9-6, plus an hour commute each way. and then college Tuesday, Thursday.
Working Saturdays in a barber shop. Training 5 times a week, mate, and just getting to it, man.
Yeah, and that's not just like, oh, look how it happened. No, really, you put yourself there because you must like something about being busy. Like maybe it keeps your mind off shit. Yeah, cool. You know, maybe just like being an autopilot in a way.
I'm quite a frantic person, like.
Yeah.
Like chilled in my off time a bit, but like frantic, man.
Yeah.
Like easily. I don't know. Like even when we used to go away with the boys and that, I have to know constantly what the score is, man.
Yeah, you're getting, mate. We'd be in Ibiza and you'd be talking about, we need to get tickets, man.
Like, get up, man. Let's get on the tickets. Do this now. I can't be arsed waiting for people, man.
Yeah.
I'm just now, mate. That's just how I'm like. I panic when I've got 2 hours between two things, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, fuck. Like, what am I doing for 2 hours now, man? This is all. Like, just constantly got quite a high paced person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's good when you do shit with it, man. But when you're not doing anything,
well, you have to be. That's the benefit.
Excitable, mate. That's what it is. I hit lulls, mate. If I don't think yo.
So you utilise it rather than being a victim of it.
Shit gets plainer, mate, as you get older. I think, man. Because there's shit to do, mate. But like, in terms of that party thing, mate, that's exhausted. There's a certain place I need to go to and that, but it's just like. To get your bit, mate, when you get older, mate, is hard, right?
You just get used to shit, don't you? That's it. But that's what it is, like being. It's just the human condition, man. You just get used to things like we were saying about partying before. I'd get to the point where I'd even have those like kind of epiphanies where I'd be there. I'd be like fucking swaying, mate, in the middle of a dance floor, and I'd look around and I'd be like, who are these people, man? Like, who are these people? Like, why? Like, would I enjoy this if I was stone cold sober? No. Do I give a shit about these people? Have I actually got anything in common with them other than the fact that we're both fucked? Yeah. Nothing, mate. Yeah, we're just both fucked. Sometimes that's enough, like. Yeah. And I'm not saying, like, I don't want to shit on partying, mate. It's some of the best times of my fucking life, but I'm still going to get a lot fucking done, mate, especially in the next couple of years, like. But it'd be different. You need a different kind of party, right? Don't you? That's why
you need a bit more fucking taste in it.
Every time, you
move with the same generation. You want to be partying with the same generation that were going to Ibiza or whatever when you were going. Move through with but there's nothing much. There's not much to move through to, mate.
No, yeah. Well,
so go back, mate, and go back. And like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm going to Ibiza for next month. It's just that I'll go out and it'll be sick, mate. But luckily, I'm going out there with Rusty. I met like different older people, and it'd be a different dynamic. You know what I mean?
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, I've been, I think every year for the last like 6 years or something. 1 year twice. The first few times it was like still getting the buzz of Ibiza.
Really, like it is sick.
But then the last few times were still just as sick or sicker because I did them differently. I did one with Yados. It's totally different just being with a fucking Spaniard there. Just me and him, smashed it over for a long weekend. I did one in a sick fucking pad with like Moran and Rob and that. And like now people ask me, it's coming up to summer and people are like, you going Ibiza this year? And I'm like, well, I will go if I think there's a different angle I can hit it from. If I think there's an angle,
it's always just more expensive. That's the only angle, man.
Yeah, exactly. But it needs to be with different people or in a different scenario or something that's going to give me a fresh fucking feel, man. Because how many angles can you do it from, man? I think I've covered a lot of them, like, and I don't want to walk through the same footsteps twice ever in my fucking life, man.
That's what it is, mate. You tread on no ground, but you're just a bit older and you're like,
yeah.
Like, you're not like, it's like going fucking MAGA now, lad.
Maybe I have to think of a way to do it, fucking, yeah.
Well, I want, like, we're going out, I'm American, aren't we, this year, like, you just want to look at better stuff, mate. I'm banging, I reckon I'm going to get banging to camping and that, me, man.
Yeah.
It's ruthless, lad.
Didn't you go to, I saw you,
Peak District, man,
some cabins or some shit.
I want to box it off, man. I want to go back in a few weeks, but it's nice, mate. You just build another thing that you've not done before, innit?
Yeah.
Get all your bits on, man, get a brew outside, man.
Simple things, man.
Smoke a bit, man.
Come back to the simple things, man.
It is though, that's because you like that's just it's just contrast from my like how hectic I am, man.
Yeah. See,
it's nice to just strip it back and just look at nice shit, man, and just eat some naughty bits, mate.
Well, Yeah,
Get a coffee outside, do absolutely nothing, lad. Phones as well, mate. Grim, lad.
Yeah.
Always on my phone, man.
Yeah. I'm on my phone way too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, those things, like, I have definitely last couple of years just started, like, I give more of a shit now about, like, I just want to go for a walk, man, and, like,
Dude, go for
feel the fucking sun on my neck and eat an olive loaf from Tesco, man, because, you know,
That's the thing, mate. As you get older, mate, you're like, why am I actually here, man?
well,
Like, what is the best way to enjoy? Not in a depressive way, but
no,
you're like, right, what's the sickest things I've done in the past? Like, eating a bit of bread, mate, is probably just as sick as being next level in a party or whatever, because in that moment, mate, you get absolutely content, lad. So the little details, just getting the fucking shit you want, mate, to eat,
yeah,
and just sitting there, mate, in absolute comfort, lad, with like your ritual around you, mate, you get addicted to shit like that, mate.
yeah.
In contrast, like,
I think the thing is, there's just different forms of happiness, right? Or forms of fun, different forms of enjoyment, right? And like you say, like, you can be just as content in those moments as you can with your fucking mates, everyone, do, you know, whatever. But it's a good job that we can appreciate those things, right? Because a few years back, we were kind of going at a pace that you can't sustain that level of acceleration, man. Otherwise, like,
you were dual carriageway, sense reservations, lad, at dual carriageways.
even now,
Exhaustion, mate.
I feel like I'm away somewhere new every fucking month, man.
Yeah, you smash it, man.
And I'm just keeping up. That's just keeping up. That's just keeping myself entertained, man. That's just keeping myself entertained and trying to enjoy, like, other more simple things in between, right? But I think I do get that question does arise in my head sometimes. I think, where am I going to get a thrill from? Where am I going to get the fucking buzz of because I know that, because right now I get it from travel, right? I used to get it from partying, mainly.
Traveling's sick.
Now I get it a little bit from partying still, now and again. Like, it's good, but a lot of it comes from, like, traveling, seeing sick fucking places and shit like that. That's like mainly
because it's completely fresh, mate. It just wipes your brain.
But,
you're in that, when you're looking at something new, mate. You're something new. You feel new, don't you, man?
Yeah.
Because you're not been there before. But, like, the gym and that now, mate. I hit the gym now.
But I know
but
that,
like, that's over, man. Like, I can't.
But I know that what I enjoy now, like, it's got a fucking time limit on it, man. So you've got to think of the next thing before you get bored of it. Because if you wait long enough to get sick of doing something, that's almost too late, man. Because then you're in this situation where, like, oh, right, now what do we do? And maybe it's, maybe for me it'll be business. I always, or, whatever it is, like, because.
But you could do a lot of business, man.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of envisaged that for myself when I was younger. I used to read a load of fucking, like, business books all the time and shit. But right now in this stage, like, it's just not a priority for me. Because I don't.
You've been more of a brand, couldn't you?
I think right now the reason the thing that stops me getting in on this entrepreneurial hype is that I don't think I could just sell t-shirts or do a thing for the sake of a business. I think right now I'd have to be passionate enough. I'd have to be really passionate about the product, man, because I can't get passionate enough from just profits, right? That's not gonna make me go, oh fuck yeah, this is sick, because ultimately I'm looking at it thinking, these are numbers.
You're not that materialistic though.
And how well,
like, obviously you just goals, mate, because you just want sick levels, but
I'm like, I just want enough money to fucking go on holiday, buy my mum and dad dinner now and again, man. That's sweet, innit? And, like, beyond that, I enjoy shit now and again, but it's not that I don't think being rich would be sick, or that I don't probably want to be rich one day. it's just that I see like kind of rich people or things that people buy with a lot of money, and I just look, it doesn't register, man.
Flat life, innit?
I just see through it. I don't think, oh, that'd be sick to own. I think that'd be sick for a week. Yeah. That's what I think when I see like sick cars and that. I think that'd probably entertain me for like fucking 5 days, man.
There's a guy that posted that, like how much a Lambo cost him for a year to own. I went through the figures, the price and that. He said it was an absolute fucking nightmare, man. Like the sale, the loss of depreciation of the price, tax, everything, running costs, and he pinned his whole life to that. He said he had it for 8-9 months, mate, and just couldn't wait to get rid of it.
Yeah.
That's what it is, mate. There's all false goals, isn't it?
I think
it's like things you want to hold on to, mate, and go, oh, once you get to that stage, but you never get to the stage, mate. Because the minute I've got a shop that's permanent, that's what do I do then, man?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not doing that for fucking 10 years, lad. Just nothing changed. No.
I think you have to
progress through business or hobbies or travel or just identity. I don't know, man.
I think keeping yourself entertained is it's half the reason, or it's half the cause probably for like a lot of like societal problems, man. It's why, personally, I think it's why like British people drink so much, man.
Yeah,
it's why they go out on a weekend and get fucked up, because there's something like there's like a buzz missing, man. A thrill, a thrill missing. And I think like obviously you can't just know how it's going to pan out. You can't know what you're going to be interested in, and so you can't plan it that well. But you have to be open-minded enough to open enough avenues for yourself in it, and sometimes do things that you think you might not enjoy that much, just fucking in case, or like do things speculatively in case it turns out well, man. That's the thing that people
got time to do that on your own.
Well,
try a few things and see if it runs up, man.
You have got time, but people are afraid to invest their own time in case they don't like doing it. Oh, I won't like doing this, so I'm not going to try it. And you're like, well, what? Like when I hear people say, oh, I haven't got time, or not necessarily I haven't got time, but like, I can't be asked doing that because I'm not going to like it, or it's a waste of like an hour or whatever. I think, what the fuck else are you doing for an hour, man? Most hours are getting wasted, mate.
Yeah, of course, man.
And so you have to the time cost of everything for the average person is actually very low. You're actually never wasting time trying something because you were probably gonna waste that time anyway.
Yeah. It's mad. There's loads of things I want to do, man. I thought about tailoring and shit in the past life, but it's all courses, isn't it, man? Night schools, lad.
Yeah.
I can't be arsed, man. Buying or wrapping cars, mate. That's a good one.
Yeah, mate. I mean, learning shit would be
learning shit's it's very it's very that's the thing, mate. Because I learned how to cook from nothing. Obviously, barber, went to uni and that, and I've always been in like a learning kind of program, mate, for quite a portion, like from like 18 to 23, 24. But when you learn something, you have less time because you get into a thing that's actually like you feel your knowledge build every day. It's rewarding, isn't it?
Yeah. I think that's something that you lose when you leave school, or leave uni or whatever, and you think you're kind of glad to be free of it, but then, immediately you're glad to be free of it, but actually you're losing out, man.
You need to be building something like.
If you learning is fucking satisfying, man, but the trouble is before you learn anything, you have a moment of frustration where your brain's trying to figure it out, man, and that's what people are kind of scared of. Me too, man. I've decided many a time, like, I'm going to teach myself this, start watching YouTube videos, then I go, and then I fucking swerve it, but I always thought when I'm older I'd go back to uni and just learn some fucking astronomy or some shit, man.
Be sick, man. Just doing some way off, like, yeah. That's why I want to get into interior or something, mate, later on. It's just something you might do, but it's just class, mate. Stuff like that.
I always thought it'd be sick, like designing your own house from the ground up, man.
Yeah. So that's why that was a good process with the shop, lad. Just everything, your choice, you choose everything, mate, and what kind of message you want to send and that. And like you putting like the feel together, you know what I mean? There's a lot of psychology in it, really. Shit looks cheap, mate. Shit looks horrible. Shit doesn't look on point, and you have to think about everything.
Yeah.
But like the gym, mate. That's why I can't be asked going to the gym that much anymore, because it was like a thing that I just did at one point, and now it's good to stay in shape for me personally. But that was at one point was just like it was a hobby for me that was always going to run out of value. Like when I started barbering, I didn't have the time to warrant going that much, and it just fell off, mate, because with the passion just switched to this. Now at the moment, mate, I'm just all about fucking motorbikes. Getting out on the Ninja, man. But shit always moves through quite quickly with me.
Alright, so what are you doing this summer? You going to Ibiza?
Yeah, 4 nights there to see Rusty, lad I live with in Amsterdam. He's got a shop over there, so stay there. Went there last year, same time, didn't I? Red hot, just a cheap little oldie, man. Get myself out. And then after that, it's play by ear, mate, depending on what level of busy I am with moving my shop and that. But hopefully, can get Italy done and that, a little bits like that. But I'm just planning a lot of English holidays, lad. Camping shit, mate. Riding shit. Just getting out, mate.
Well,
Quick blast.
We've got a Jack's wedding in September, haven't we?
Wedding, yeah.
That's
Best man speech.
that's pretty weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think it's weird that like
It just signifies that you are getting a bit older, man.
Yeah.
When people are just properly gluing down themselves in the current, situations, whether it be like that's me, you know what I mean? That's my final job, that's this and that. It's twinning it, you know what I mean? So it is a bit mad, like.
So for the purpose of the viewers, Tom's twin brother's getting married later this year. We're all going to the wedding in New York. Another of our mates is getting married is it next year?
Yeah, man.
So
Best man again, innit?
we're all getting locked the fuck down, man.
Yeah. It's good, like, innit? But your shit goes, like, one thing I do, like, your parents aren't fucking about, are they, man? It does go quick as fuck, doesn't it, life, like? Your 20s and shit, mate, just fly past you, mate. And, like, you are going to be your dad, mate.
Yeah, mate, but
Like,
I'm
straight
not,
up,
man. Like, the thing is, like, I don't feel any fucking pressure, not from me bird, me parents, me mates, regardless of what everyone fucking does. I'll be living how I want to fucking live.
Yeah,
I'm stubborn.
course,
I'm
mate.
stubborn on that, man.
You got that. You can
I'll be living
move
out
around quite as well as you want to as well.
Yeah.
Because you've not got that on a map per se, have
know,
you?
I'll be living how I want to live for as long as I want to fucking live like that for, man. And if I decide, right, I'm gonna start fucking partying like fuck again, then I decide it, man. And I know, and like, you value, like, do you know what's funny? I think, right, back in the day, do you remember?
Yeah.
I shouldn't say by name, but anyway, long story short, I was in a relationship way longer than I should have been.
Yeah.
Like, it should have ended like probably a year or so before it did, and that taught me so much, man. Because like after that, I was like, I feel like this year of my life has been robbed, man.
That's what it is, man.
And I was like, this will never happen to me again.
When you get with on bird, mate, it's an absolute lesson, man.
Oh yeah, that's why now with Mags, like,
I lost
we're
5 years, mate.
we're so chilled because I'm like, you
don't want to take anything from each other,
like,
man.
why would we? I'm like, we understand how much of a waste of life like arguing and shit is.
Yeah.
So at most anything is ever like builds up to like a very rational discussion.
That's what it is, though, man. I think honestly that's because like we both came out of minging past relationships, didn't we? Did a bit out in the field, mate. Built the confidence, built the know-how, and built the kind of the intel, mate, to make good judgment on who we want to be our girlfriends, man.
Well, exactly.
And we found suitable like You know, because I got the same with Dina, mate. Like, it's absolute cruise, mate. Do whatever I want. It's not a complaint ever, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's just easy, mate.
This is the.
And respect each other's shit, man.
I think like with me and Mags, I think that we like. It's funny. Sometimes she trolls me about like, you know, I was in Sankey's once and I met this girl that you were supposed to be seeing or some shit like that. Like, you know, right in the early stages, and like, oh, she'll troll me about like just saying, making out that you're like some kind of fucking like
You would see a
player or something, like, you know, but she's only messing, and I'm like, that's why we're so sound, man, because I learned about people.
Yeah,
like grafting and that. I learned about people. I learned about
about
what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. I learned about how to put being a good fucking energy above everything, and how to be considerate of how you're impacting this situation. So, for example, you meet a girl for the first time, and really, regardless of what you do, regardless of what you say, it's all about the mood, right? So if her mood is good, it's going well for you, yeah, and that carries over, because you think about that on the acute scale of like, meet this girl once, whatever, but then really you can extrapolate that to a relationship and think, am I a positive influence on my girlfriend? Is she a positive influence on me? Do we and even down to every time we see each other, you know, if I'm like, just meet me bird, and I start like moaning about some stupid shit or whatever, you know, I should really be thinking to myself, why am I bringing this bad energy onto this person? Like, I say energy, I don't mean like fucking, you know what I mean, like bad vibe, man. But you learn how to be a good vibe when you're doing that time in the trenches. And like, there's a lot of shit that carries over, I think, and because we were always so fucking like honest and upfront.
Well, straight away, man, like that one with the honesty, mate. Like, I met Dina, mate, before we went to Australia, lad.
Well,
and like, it just came at a terrible time, and like, it was back when we were like quietly, ruthlessly honest about everything, and there was no way I was getting a girl from it. There's no way I was gonna pursue her, because I was moving countries. And when I came back to Amsterdam, I then said to, you know, we should meet up. We didn't really get to, you know, develop any further kind of knowledge on each other. Let's meet up on that. And then I moved to Amsterdam, and she still knew that I was seeing other girls, and that I told her this, and I kept it, you know, likewise, mate. I didn't give her the license to ask, and I didn't have the license to ask about her. But if I hadn't told her the truth, mate, and had the confidence, or just generally took that approach, mate, of this is what I'm doing, do you like it or not, your choice. I didn't get found out, mate. I wasn't a player, I wasn't this and that. I told her that, you know, that someone came over in Amsterdam, and you know, how it was straight away, man. Out of respect, mate, and on that basis, mate, I was able to get with her. Because she believes every word, mate, and that's what it is, mate. If you get caught lying and you dick around and take that standard approach, mate, you're not gonna be able to reach the summit, man. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, I think if you lie about your kind of relations with birds, it just shows like, weirdly shows like insecurity, man. Because it's like you have to create a false frame for this girl to still want to chill with you, man. But I think
make it look a certain way, mate. You just
exactly. I think in the very beginnings we were very like you know, and this is something as well I often think about. I think why did birds like want to hang out with us, man? And I thought, because like I was saying, we brought a good energy, because we were fun, right? And then I think about that now, and I think it's another thing that translates into my relationship. I think you should be the person that your bird got with. And by the same token, you can expect the same of her, because a lot of relationships, maybe past ones that I've been in, they go fucking downhill, and you end up like, shit behavior suddenly becomes acceptable, and like all of a sudden, okay, as we were saying, so I think a lot of the times when you get with a girl or when people get with each other, it's like it's so good at the start because you have this kind of level of like respect for each other that if you're not careful about it, it can deteriorate.
Yeah, your boundaries are up, like your guards up a little bit, and you're still playing a certain act, man. In a way, man, because you don't really want to. You get to a point where you know the entry level things about each other, and now it's like, all right, now we go a little bit deeper, man. And then it's with that information and that intrusion of privacy, mate, that a lot of time, mate, it goes a bit bland, mate.
It turns into a like you versus them type thing.
You gotta literally inspire them on a daily basis, man, innit?
There were so many parallels between our past relationships. We'd have like you literally have the same conversation, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
But when on our ex-girlfriend,
like we'd be like, oh yeah, my bird used to do this, and you'd be like, yeah, mine does that. You know.
Yeah, but it's worthwhile, man, because it's just you're ashamed of how you were, mate, and the escape from trying to mend it and not ever doing that, replicating that ever again, mate.
Yeah,
makes you like way more like armored, mate. You're just like you just know you're not having it again, mate.
Well, exactly. Now I know that.
That's what happens when you get with girls, young man, and that's why like people that get with each other later on when they've had stinker boyfriends, girlfriends, and that. It's just way more chill, mate. Like you haven't got all them little fucking issues, mate. That grow. It's just
like I think to myself, I'm never gonna have a bad relationship, man, because I'll just
don't tolerate it.
I'll just go. Like you can't. Like you realize that actually you've like it's weird. You're free to come and free to go, man. Like there's no pressure or anything. Yeah. Your bird isn't forcing you to stay with you. Yeah. With it, no one's got.
But you should be like that with your mates as well. Like if you like, you just don't like because you don't need that many people around you, man. Like I literally only fuck with like a handful of people, man. And like if it's just like just lousiness and shit from people, and like you shouldn't tolerate it, mate. You should just if you can't be asked doing something or you're doing things for the sake of it, you need to just spend your time wisely in it and be wise about it.
Yeah. I think it's often kind of confused. People say, oh, you know, you should... Basically, the narrative is you should only hang around with sick fucks, which isn't true. Like, but you shouldn't hang out with people who detract from the fucking vibe. Like, because there are people who like may not be necessarily in a position to make your life any better. Do you know what I mean? They may not be able to teach you anything, but they might still be fucking just sound people to hang around with, man. You know, and I think sometimes like with the whole like, keep your circle small. People get in the mindset of like, I should be able to get something from all my mates. Like everything should be like teaching me about business, teaching me about this. Like
just to build a bigger brain. Like,
why are you looking like self-interested?
It's chill. It's good just chilling when people are just not business inspired, but they're just floaty people, man. As long as they're not sitting there like giving you problems and just that are unresolved and asking you questions and just sucking the spirit out your arsehole, mate. Because that's just draining, mate. That ain't fun, man.
There's a kind of very prevalent defeatist mentality, I think, that you're seeing people where people will come at you with a problem and you'll give them a solution and they'll tell you why it won't work, and then you'll give them another solution and they'll tell you why that won't work, and you're like,
about how can it work? Like,
you look at them and think, you don't want a solution, you just want me to wallow with you. You just want me to be sad with you. You know. And like obviously they're the people you need to not chill with, but
that's all about vibing it, man.
We've probably got acquaintances that we make a lot less effort with now, because they're not because we want to get something out of them, but because they're like just a bad energy, man. And you're like, you've had years to you know, if you're 25 or something, you should be fucking self-aware enough to be good company, man, and to add to the fucking group, like, you know, at least within, because all you need to add to the group is enthusiasm, man.
Some people are just complete background noise, mate, and you could never directly do anything with them because they've always been background noise, mate.
Porridge,
man. Innit? It's just like, but I suppose they've got their own like tight knits with other people, you know what I mean? So it's there's noticeable levels, mate, in groups, and then I always think, man, like it'd be good to have a whole group of complete forward people, man. They just nail on plans constantly, lad. Just be like, right, you know, just because there's never that many alphas, is there, lad? To be fair.
No. It's usually one or two, isn't it? And then everyone just pretty much follows suit. And in a way that is good, but in a way it's fucking.
They'd be fucking.
It's actually kind of shit because if you're the one who's trying to direct things all the time, you know it can get tedious, man. You can get to the point where you're thinking, when are you gonna show a bit of life, man? Like the only real thing that offends me most about people is just a lack of enthusiasm, man. That's what kills me, man. Just when people show no, and I'm like,
lostness, mate.
I feel like if I'm trying to make plans with people and I'm suggesting good shit and everyone's just for fucking, you know, X Factor's on, I'm like, I'm gifting you a good time, man. I'm putting a good time right in front of you, right under your fucking nose.
You're gonna be there too, mate.
All you have to do is say yes and turn the fuck up, man. Yeah. And like, if you can't do that, I probably don't want to be your mate, man.
Nah, because it's just lousy, mate, isn't it?
Yo. Alright, we'll wrap it up soon. Finally, I just got one last question. If there wasn't even any questions, but just a question. So, on my YouTube, I get fucking hounded, man, about where is Tommy B, what's Tommy B up to, how come Tommy B's not in the videos. It's to the point, right, where it was so long ago, a lot of people who watch now don't know who you are. And so now there's like a second wave of questions going, who's this Tommy B that we hear about? Who's Tommy B in the comments? And it's like gone meta, man. And it's like a fucking, and I feel like there's an element of like very like OG fucking underground. Like I feel like you almost became a cult figure in my videos, man. Yeah. Like
the power of the wave was strong, to be fair, mate. I still get that, like now I still get people, a lot of Irish people actually coming through my newly made shop. You know, I present myself in a bit more of an evolved manner now. Like I'm not as well. It's a different era, isn't it, mate? But I still get people that watch old vids or whatever coming through, mate, thinking it was yesterday. But I also get people coming through it who are now used to watch stuff and now they're a bit older, mate, and now we're on the same level, man.
Just touch on that, like how you like present yourself. I feel like I've got like subconsciously, not even on purpose, but like way more PG. But it's not even like a conscious, like it's not like a business decision, man. It's not like I'm thinking, I would need to be more marketable. For me, it's that like I used to just talk about like fingering, man, and like joking and that. And it's not that I'm against like crude shit. It's that I don't find the jokes that I found funny 2 years ago still funny, man.
Ruthless, man.
So like that's the only thing for me. It's more that my humour's changed, and now I see that because back then we used to say horrific shit in an ironic way, right?
Yeah, but it was a kind of an inside thing, wasn't it? But our humour became very the same thing, and it was quite propelled, and
we got kind of
funneled into that kind of way, man.
The thing is, we were next level ironic, right? And we got fucking tarred with a kind of brush because a lot of people didn't know that. Know that it was ironic.
Legit.
They thought we were just horrible guys.
Before I came back to England, I didn't meet many people that watched. I'd meet a few people in Amsterdam and I'd speak to them, but even then, mate, I was still in a bit of, well, you know, in that kind of Amsterdam party scene, etc., etc. But now I meet people, mate, and people actually thought, I mean, I was zombied in them. Like, I just played up to the secondary role, mate, of just like saying stupid shit, mate, and everyone just thought I was an absolute bum, mate, by the sounds of it. Just wasn't up to much. And when I tell them that I was working and shit and what I was doing, they're like, yeah. Because people I met in Amsterdam, Irish people or whatever, I'd be outside or whatever chilling, and they come over and go, so like, how do you like move country? And I said, mate, I've worked, man. Like, they think we were just fucking around, man, heavy, which we were.
Well, the thing is, man, right, I used to put out fucking like one vlog every 2 or 3 weeks, and it'd be the highlights, and it'd be like us fucking partying or whatever,
But that
and
was
like
the
doing
essence of
stupid
the life,
shit,
man.
and that's what we were doing. But
Yeah.
you were working like 60 hours a fucking week. I was still working like.
Yeah, you were grafting,
You know what I
like,
mean?
it was that portion, yeah, that was the best shit we did. But that was only, what, 30% of
And that's the
week,
thing,
man.
if you put out a video once every 3 or 4 weeks, it can be the fucking highlight reel. And
yeah.
people, but in a way, like, it's a good thing, because I want to show people a highlight reel.
course.
I want to show people
Yeah,
me
yeah,
sat at my desk for 4 hours was boring.
Sat in a job that you're trying to get out of.
But like, it gives off the idea that you're not doing.
Yeah.
I'm like, people like, people back then would be like, how do you make? People still message me now saying, how do you make money? I'm like, mate, I do fucking work, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It's not cheap, man, moving countries, and you know, we spent a lot, didn't we, man? Moving around, lads. Like, just supporting that lifestyle comes at a heavy cost, mate.
Yeah.
But you gotta stay on track, man.
Well, I was gonna ask you in the first. I didn't even fucking ask you. Well, I was gonna just say, like, why do you think you became such a fucking
Prolific,
such a cult figure, man? Like, what?
Because it was, you know, I'm still like that now, to be fair, man. But there is a slight filter on due to, I don't know, age or whatever. But yeah, man, just
I think it was.
I've always been into like not slogans, but like words and shit, and just dicking about, mate, and just rounding shit off in the most short, effective kind of terminology, mate. I think it was the terminology, lad. It was because I played on the fact that I was proper into myself, which I am pretty into myself, man. And just the succession of the shit we were doing, mate, it was all rolled into. It must have just come across cool, man, or you know.
I think it was the.
And it was the contrast between what I was saying in complete I was just effortless, and you know, if it goes on film, it goes on film. If it doesn't, I don't give a fuck, man, because it was just cameo. And then it was the contrast between the two of us. Yeah. Even to look at, we're both different, aren't we?
I think like I'd articulate a point for like 5 minutes and go deep in it, and then you just sum it up with like 3 words that like you have to even just be a bit imaginative to even put them together and think like that's what that means, man. But it was a lot of the. I think that's probably it. It's a lot of the slogans and shit that get people speak, people, because then it's like a reminder in people's heads every time they hear that phrase or
that's
whatever.
What people think it, say it starts to work into the dialogue. The next minute they're trying to be Tommy B, lad. Nah, it's cool, man. That's the influence of everything, man, in any way.
Funny as fuck, man. You know.
It was sick, mate, because legit, man, like you'd go through Instagram or just dip into people's bios or meet people and they're literally just ripping you off, man.
Yeah.
Not in a like a big-headish way, but in a good way, you know what I mean? They're taking that mentality. And that's what people used to say, innit, man? They're just the mentality, man, like the way... People say that to me now that are cutting out in the shop and that. You say it was that was the main thing, like it was just that mindset and just being like... There's no about taking it seriously, but just doing bits in it at the same time.
Yeah, it was just... it was a very fucking, like... Get involved in shit, wasn't it? Get involved was the phrase, man.
But it encapsulated the thing we were doing, innit? So...
It was,
and the skinny jeans, lad, they were skinny there, man.
I'm still wearing skinny jeans, mate. I'm not caught up yet. I wait for you to wear something. I see you wearing something and wait for like a few months for it to be long enough so people don't say stop copying Tom. And then I start wearing it, man.
Yeah, man.
Alright, we're gonna wrap it up.
Right, peace.
Appreciate
Nice
the time.
talking.
Everyone like the fucking video for Tommy B's appearance. Maybe we'll see him again sometime.
There we go, man.
See you later, people.
Peace.